Hey, I'm John, and I'm a teacher, just like you. And you know that student, the one who's just brilliant, so creative, but for the life of them can't seem to get their work in on time? It can be so frustrating, right? For them and for us.
Well, today, we're going to reframe that question. Let's dig into the real reason they're struggling and, more importantly, figure out what we can actually do to help them succeed.
So, here's our plan. We're going to start with what the student is up against, then get into the brain science of ADHD. After that, we'll jump right into some classroom strategies and tools you can start using pretty much immediately.
Okay, first up, the student's challenge. Think about it. High school is a massive jump for any kid. But for a student with ADHD, all those new demands for self-control, for organization, it's not just a leap. It feels like the hurdles are multiplying overnight.
And the numbers really back this up. I mean, look at this. Research from the amazing Dr. Russell Barkley shows that over 90% of students with ADHD have a really tough time in school. For them, it is one of the hardest environments they have to navigate.
And here's the key takeaway from Dr. Barkley's work. It's not that the student is lazy or not trying. It's that the world around them, especially in high school, is suddenly demanding a level of self-regulation they just aren't equipped for yet. So that leads us to a really common, fundamental misunderstanding about ADHD. For years, I honestly thought it was just an attention problem. Simple as that. Turns out, I was completely wrong.
The science is really clear on this now. ADHD is not an attention deficit. Think about it. Our students can totally pay attention, sometimes with laser-like focus, to things they're passionate about, right?
What it is, as Dr. Barkley explains, is a disorder of self-regulation. Basically, that's the ability to manage your own behavior, to get things done, and reach your goals. And this whole system is run by a set of mental skills we call executive functions.
So what are executive functions? The best way to think about them is like the air traffic controller for the brain. It's the part that manages everything coming in and going out. For our students with ADHD, that control tower is just chaotic. It's buzzing with activity, making it almost impossible to prioritize what's important. That's where we come in. We can help them build a better system.
And this also explains working memory. Think of it like a mental sticky note. For a student with ADHD, any little distraction can come along and just wipe that sticky note clean. That's exactly why they can hear your instructions, look out the window for a second, and then have absolutely no idea what you just told them to do. The thought was literally erased.
Okay, so we get it now. It's about self-regulation and memory, not about being lazy. So what do we do with that information? How does this translate into our classrooms on a Tuesday morning? Let's get really practical here.
First off, we can change the environment. These are small tweaks with a big impact. Things like seating them near you or arranging desks to face forward. Or how about this? Schedule their toughest class, like algebra, first thing in the morning when their brain is freshest. And this is a big one, let them fidget. That little bit of restlessness can actually help them focus, not distract them.
Next, let's talk about the assignments themselves. For a student with ADHD, a worksheet with 30 problems on it isn't a challenge. It's a giant wall. It's paralyzing. So what if you just gave them 5 at a time? Suddenly, it feels possible. The goal here is productivity first, just getting them started. We can worry about getting every single answer perfect later.
So, since we know their internal management system is struggling, our job is to help them build an external one. These are the tools for success. And one of the absolute best tools for this is something called the Daily Behavior Report Card. It's amazing. It gives them feedback after every single class, builds an accountability between school and home, and honestly, it only takes a teacher like 15 seconds to fill out at the end of the period.
And look, it doesn't have to be some fancy, complicated thing. This model here is super simple. It's just a grid. But that simple grid provides that external structure, that constant feedback that can make all the difference in helping a student feel successful and stay on track. Another really powerful tool, especially for teens, is a school coach or mentor. This could be you, a counselor, anyone. Just one adult who checks in with them morning, midday, and before they go home for maybe 5 minutes. Seriously, that short check-in can be an absolute game changer for their organization and motivation.
So when you put all of this together, the strategies, the tools, it all comes down to one thing. The single most powerful tool we have is actually a shift in our own thinking.
And this right here, this says it all. We need to move from our old thinking to a new way of thinking. Instead of seeing a kid who won't do the work, we see a kid who can't start the work. Instead of doesn't care, it's can't regulate. It's moving from seeing a problem of will to seeing a problem of skill.
And when we make that shift, everything changes. We stop being a critic and we start being a coach.
Listen, you don't have to do all of this tomorrow. You don't have to completely change your classroom overnight. It all starts with just one small thing, one intentional change. So the real question is, which small strategy will you try tomorrow? Because for that one brilliant, creative student in your class, that one small change could be everything.